I remember at 17, which is very critical that I mention it. You remember Garariga? I was still going back home every day. And sometimes I'd stay, maybe talking to people, I don't know, but I'd get home late. And from the road to the house would be like 15 to 20 minutes. So, and those days they never used to have motorbikes. The motorbikes came later. The Boda Bodas, they came later.
What happens now? What's the transition after Kenya National Theatre acting into this next stage? So
she comes back and she says we can do, I can do the maths thing. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I go register and I end up going to Graffins College, which was at Cooperative House, which is next
Nairobi
to
Institute
railways.
of Business Studies.
Yes, which is next to railways. So I have to, so I go register. So I remember I'd go to Koja, then I'd walk straight. So I used to look up to see Yaya Center. I'd walk straight to the green thing for Yaya Center.
Yaya Center?
Not Yaya Center, sorry. Afia Center, I'm sorry. Afia Center. So I'd get to Koja and walk straight to Afia Center because it was apparently the landmark those days. And then from there I'd be like, so Cooperative Bank is like near there. Yes. Then I'll go to school. So that's how I started going to school.
To bridge
mathematics for 3 months. It was a 3 months course.
And how was that?
It was quite interesting. I think for me, my experience is now learning town because it's further. It's at the end of Nairobi, and then you have to come back to Koja. So it was quite an interesting experience meeting new kids. And I think by now the friends I met at that point, they had come from Alliance. They were also bridging maths. Yeah. And just now being exposed, hearing stories about Alliance, just hearing stories about different kids who went to different schools, and becoming friends with them. Again, they're still trying to fit in because you're really, really shamba. Like you don't even know anything in terms of, or rather you think you don't know anything, yet you know. In terms
of urban life.
Urban life, yes. Yeah. So you don't know a lot about urban life.
And the question is, this bridging course, explain to somebody who may not understand what a bridging course is and why it's necessary.
So a bridging course is, since I didn't get a very good grade in maths, so once you do the bridging course, you get a certain grade for maths that enables you to study the course you want to do. So at that particular point, my dream is I have to go study computer science at Jomo Kenyatta University.
JKUAT?
JKUAT, yes. But now my grade cannot allow me to, my maths grade cannot allow me to. So I had, so the reason you do a bridging course is because I didn't have a good grade in maths. So I was studying maths for 3 months so that I can get a particular grade for maths, so that I joined JKUAT to study computer science. Okay, I wasn't thinking about the finances. I just wanted to make myself ready so that when the finances come, I'm able to study this computer science. But remember, there were no finances.
But I know, but that's huge. You're talking about the concept of eating an elephant bite by bite.
Yeah.
You get starting with the tail, then go to the trunk. You get. So for you, if you look at the fact that there's no finances and also that you don't have the grade, you'll just quit. You won't even bother to start. But you're like, let me first of all
find out why is it that I cannot study computer science. They said it's maths. I'm going to bridge that maths. And then we can now discuss.
We can talk about the money.
Discuss about the money when we get there.
Wow. Yeah. That's how old are you at this time?
16, 17.
Okay. Yeah. You're thinking that's wise.
Yeah.
Okay, so you finish this period. Is there anything else? I don't want to leave out anything from here.
So there was a lot of exposure as well with these kids. So I finished that period. And sad to say, after I finished, there was no money. Or not sad to say. I mean, when you look back, you're like,
sad to say. What is it?
You're like, oh wow, it all worked together for good. Okay. So I go back home, and so I've studied maths. I've done. I quit Kenya National Theatre. I'm no longer doing set books, and I'm like, what's next? And then one of my friends who had started going to school, immediately we finished high school. Then they had already started, they'd gone to school. So she comes and she tells me, our school has this IT. Maybe you should ask your mom whether you can come and study there. I'm like, okay, we'll see. But, where is the money coming from? So she was going to Graffins College.
In Westlands?
Yeah. Graffins was 5,000 per month. That's like a lot of money for us.
Yeah.
How are we going to afford that? We've already now used her loan money to bridge the months.
Yeah.
I think it was 40,000. It was quite an expensive venture. So how are we going to do this? Then, for some reason, at that point, my brother had gone to Canada. So he had started sending like a few shillings here and there. So at that point, I was like, oh, yeah, now, or rather now she came and she told me, oh, now you can apply at Graffins, and then I can pay there. Okay, there are other reasons why I went to Graffins, but also there was that.
Was there a boy?
Yes.
So your friend who came to see you,
no, she was my friend, but her cousin was
was your better friend.
No, it was not. But we were just. It was a good friend.
No, but again, the humor is. I love it. I don't want to miss out what you've said about your bro. We talk about this concept of black tax.
Yeah.
And everyone who I get the opportunity to have a conversation with, I ask it. Your bro, literally, if he didn't send back money, you wouldn't have been able to go to school. Would?
Maybe I would have, but he helped at that point.
He helped at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why have you lingered that issue? Or you don't know what you don't know?
So that we don't, we don't know that, so that we don't say it's because of him that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
Makes sense?
It makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. So, so I get into campus and I'm excited. I'm studying BIT.
Business Information Technology.
And then
it's in Westlands.
In Graffins. Kids used to drive to school. So coming to school with, sometimes in Limuru, in my village, it would rain. And then when I get to Westlands, it's sunny. so I have mud from the village, so I have to wipe myself. And then you don't, of course, you can't afford to get what do you call them? A shoe polisher.
Shoe shine guy.
Shoe shine guy, someone to wash your shoes. So at some point, I resorted to, when I get to my stage in Karariga, I hide my shoes in the bushes. The dirty shoes, then I change shoes, and then I come to Westlands so that I fit in with this crowd. So if you look at my life, there's a lot of wanting to fit in.
Wow.
Fit in.
Yeah. And are you in the same class with these guys?
My friends, no. They were.
No, the guys who are driving to school.
Yeah. And there were a lot of Indians as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a different culture.
Yeah.
Now even Westlands is the heart of.
Especially then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's that like? What's that school like? What's the course like?
The course was really amazing. So I was talking about, so they were teaching more of IT than business. And then now I found programming, and I enjoyed. I started coding. I just loved coding.
For real?
Yeah, I loved coding. I remember them teaching us the user interface and the design, but I didn't love design. I remember I couldn't use Corel Draw. I couldn't draw. There's a day they told us to draw an elephant. I couldn't.
Yeah.
But if they tell me to code that elephant, I can't. The back end, the coding was really amazing for me.
So what are you guys coding? Websites?
Opened up. HTML, we do short websites, we do desktop applications.
For real?
Yeah, VB.net.
Yani, you were that deep in.
Yeah, and I loved it. So I'm also even reading about it using the internet. If I go to the cyber, I'm now taking initiative.
That's another world now that you're entering.
Yeah.
The cyber. You're talking about internet connectivity.
Yeah.
You didn't have internet in your school.
Yeah.
That.
At Graffins.
No, not at Graffins. High school.
Oh no, high school.
You had computers,
but in
but
my village, you don't have internet.
Yes.
Anyway. You don't even have phones. Because my first phone, it's one of my friend, the one who came to ask my mom. She's the one who gave me a big 3310 Nokia. It was huge. So imagine that's the one.
5110 was a bigger one. 3310 at least was a bit, but it was still big.
It was fat, yeah?
No, the 5110 was the fat one.
I think maybe it's that one.
Yes. Yeah. The 3310 was now the one with snake.
Oh yeah, that one was, I got that later. Yeah, she gave me that bigger one. That's the one. So I'd hide it because in Graffins, you know, you don't want to be seen.
Oh, this identity thing is bad, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. So, but tell me more about school. You're loving, are you doing well?
Yes.
So now you've moved from middle to...
Yeah. By the time I've gotten to college, I'm the best student ever.
For real?
Yeah. Because I loved what I was doing. I loved programming. I loved creating softwares.
And how many are you in a class?
Can I remember? Maybe 20? Let me say 20,
yeah. And there's that other life that comes with Westlands. In fact, you guys are next to Electric Avenue. Am I right?
Yeah.
Graffins is next to, I think, City.
Yeah, there are so many things. But remember, for me, I'm now looking... There's another thing that had been... what's the word? There's something that had been... There's a seed that had been planted through the Kubambas, the music I was listening to with the gospel fathers. So I was now switching from the Kenya local this other music to more of the religious music. I was switching. I mean, Graffins, but there's something I'm looking for.
Okay. In terms of music, you're moving away from the prezos.
Yeah, the prezos.
You're going to more of the gospels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're called, yeah.
If that's what at that time, yes.
That's what they were calling them.
So,
but I'm still trying to fit in, so I'm hanging out with my friends. But I mean, I think we didn't even have money, so you couldn't do much. I mean, my friends. so the only thing you can do is maybe upgrade from eating at Sanford to eating at McFry's. So. And then there's another restaurant that was clubbish, kind of, that if you eat there, because the chips were like 200, now you have upgraded just a bit. But I never got into clubbing or anything at that point, for whatever reason. I would try, but it did not happen. And if I went like on Friday afternoon, it's not even evening, afternoon, it will be, I'll just be excited to see people. For me, it was just about people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, what's the dream? Or you're just like, I need to finish this?
This, so that I do my computer science.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still like, I have to do computer science.
Oh, you're still Jake what?
Yeah, somewhere in my mind, I'm like, one day.
So this is...
Many years later, maybe.
Oh, that's so powerful. You're not feeling like I am getting the information that I would still get in this place, and this is the information that I wanted.
No, I don't know. I'm just like, this is a journey towards... Because at Graffins, I did like a certificate, then diploma, then higher diploma.
Okay.
Still hoping it's a preparation for computer science,
Okay, go on with this story. I want to see where it goes. Because I'm just like, what?
Yeah. So this is interesting because it's the beginning of an amazing journey at this point. Because that's where I remember at 17, which is very critical that I mention it. You remember Garariga, I was still going back home every day. And sometimes I'd stay, maybe talking to people, I don't know, but I'd get home late, and from the road to the house would be like 15 to 20 minutes. So, and those days they never used to have motorbikes. The motorbikes came later. The Boda Bodas, they came later. So, yeah, I'd get home and walk in darkness all the way to the house. And then someone would be like, yesterday at 8 p.m. someone passed by, this route, and they were marked, or they were, and I'm like, oh, I passed by there, like nothing happened.
Wow.
And I remember now at that point, it had started when I was young. I need to share this, where people would be like, if you want to go at night to the shop, make sure you go with Mary. She's very bold. Nothing will happen, even you, nothing will happen to you. So I found that interesting, that it was a story that people would share, like my neighbors, the village would be like, you want to go to the shop at night? Go and call Mary, then she'll take you, you can go at night. So now when I was started coming to Nairobi, that would happen a lot. So I do college 17, 18, Graffins College, learning a lot, interacting with Indians. It's a totally new culture. I mean, it was a lot. Then I finished, and towards my last 6 months, one of our teachers tell us that he's looking for someone to do data entry in his office.
First of all, that Kakilhanga you left us on, I thought something would have happened on that road.
Oh.
So it was just saying that road was just like...
Yeah, but I would walk. Yeah, I'd just walk.
Literally.
And I'll come back to why I've mentioned that, because something happened.
Okay.
So towards the last 6 months at Graffins College, now this is the time I'm turning 18. That's when I'm looking for my ID. Can you imagine?
What?
Yeah, this is the time I'm going for.
You know, it hit me. At Form 4, ID.
Yeah. For me, this is the time I'm getting my ID. The teacher came and said he's looking for someone to do data entry in his office. I think also that would make me go home late, actually. And he'd pay me 200 per day. So that was a lot of money. Yeah, so I started getting extra income from that. So one of the days I was going home at night, and I need to remember whether it was during the post-election violence. It was in between there. So there was this conversation around people, Mongeke, that they were, if you're seen wearing a trouser, they're going to either beat you up, rape you, or something. Wow. It was a narrative. So all my life I used to wear trousers, and I thought, which is I had this concept that I don't look good in skirts, which is a lie. So I'm wearing I used to get to Koja, and then there are many kids from my village. Not many. There are a few kids from my village who would come to town to go to different colleges. So we would probably meet and go home together. So this day there was no one to go home with. So it is at night, it's dark, and then I'm walking, and then I see a shadow of a tree. In my head, I make it up that that's the Mongeke person. Because remember, this narrative had gone on for so long, and there was so much fear being
propagated,
spewed and propagated. So I was like, oh my God, today is a day. Anyway, but I mean, later on I came to realize it was a tree. So I ran home, went to my room, but that triggered something. So the reason I'm sharing that, it's at that particular point, it's where I had a breakdown, where I was like, where was my father when I was born? Oh. Why did he leave? That situation triggered so many things. Where did he live? Who am I? Where did I come to this world? I mean, there were so many things that were triggered. I actually tried to take some pills. I don't know from where. And then in the middle of the night, I fainted. So I don't even know how you fall from your bed down to, so my mom had someone fall from her bed. This time I had my own room, because all my life I'd shared a room with her. Yeah. And my brother used to have his room in the house, which is, if you know the culture, and in the villages, they actually don't stay in the house. So he was staying in the house because of our financial situation. So yeah, she came, and then she took me to hospital, and they gave me medicine that makes you relax. And I remember I slept like for 3 days. Wow. Yeah. But that triggered so many things, like, who am I? Where was I born? Why was I born to this place? There are all these things that were triggered on that particular day. Yeah. That's so powerful. As you've been giving your story, yeah. I've been like, what's happening? There's something here that is undealt with. Yeah. But when you give it the way you're giving your story, I'm like, she's cool. Yeah. You get? Yeah. But it sounds like it was pent up. Yes. And now this was just something that triggered it. Yeah. And that tree, which I thought was a Mongeke person. For trigger. Which I thought was a Mongeke person. Yes. Now triggered so much fear, and then took me to a space where I was like, oh my God, why did certain things happen to me when I was young, when I was growing up, to the point of wanting to take attempting, yes. To take your own life? Yes. Wow. Yeah. So what happens now when you wake up after those 3 days? Do you your mom must be terrified because she knows what has happened? For the first time I saw her terrified. I'd never seen her in my life. Like, I never thought she could be terrified. African parents, you never even imagine. We was having a conversation the other day. You don't even imagine they have a name. Yes. Yeah, that's a kind of... But your mom also sounds like she has her own story of just a lot that she went through, and then now she's raising you guys. Yeah. So she's trying her best, but then she's also going through life. Yeah.
So what happens now when you wake up?
So
for you to you.
Well, I don't remember. I just know I woke up and I continued with life. No, I was taken for counseling, and then this person is telling me, there are people who have been displaced in I don't remember where, in other places because of post-violence. What is stressing you? Like, even me, I was like, what is stressing me? Sorry, I need to go back. Yeah. So at that point, I also was like, why don't boys like me? Then I'm like, okay, is it because I'm not tall enough, or I'm too short, or am I not thin enough? Am I not fat enough? So there was also that. There was a lot that came. It was like a flood gate. I get it. That was opened, and I questioned myself. Am I beautiful enough? Like, there were so many things that opened up at that particular time. Yeah. So when I'm now slept, then I was taken for counseling. To not like by a proper counselor, it was a nurse, a neighbor. Kuja tukupeleke counseling. That's sasa now I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
They're almost beating you, and you're already feeling guilty for all that's happening.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And you don't blame them. I don't even think they know. They don't even know what they're doing. Again, they're like, watoto wako tu, achana ni watoto, because they still see you as like a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I like this version of mental health, but what you're painting is from the village setting.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
It's still the same. It's just different levels. I mean, not different levels, different experiences, same drama.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, does that moment do anything for you, or do you just wake up and be like, okay, back to normal, but you have no option?
I mean, after that counseling, I was like, really, people? Counseling. Really, people?
Yeah.
I just left them. But then I was still left with a hunger of identity in me. Who am I? And it will come together. Then someone mentioned, there's this Kekru, and this is where my life truly started now. It started making sense. Someone mentions that there's this Bible study happening. It's called Kekru Bible Study. And they are Gospel Fathers. Remember, someone had given me the cassette for Gospel Fathers. And they're going to be there. I'm like, what? I have to go and see Gospel Fathers. That was my agenda.
Yes.
But also this person who mentioned, I had put them in a certain pedestal. So I'm like, I also have to come because they are going there.
Was it the boy?
Yeah, it was. But funny enough, when I got to the Bible study, they were not there.
Okay.
They were actually, I don't even know how they knew about the Bible study.
Yeah.
So I go to the Bible study.
And where is it? This one in town?
Yes. It used to be at Mamlaka Hill Chapel.
Okay.
This is 2009.
Yes.
So I need to tell the story hold that thought. So I finish college. Now I have higher diploma. And then I actually create my own program, a desktop application for someone. And then I go, it's one of the lecturers, I think. So I go and tell them, you see, I've created an application for you, and I'd like to sell it to you for 10,000.
What does he say?
He didn't. I don't remember whether he paid, but I gave him the application. But we never. I mean, I think he was impressed, but yeah.
And what could the application do?
It was just a data entry. Data entry.
Okay.
Yeah. It was connected to Excel. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive, though. I mean, you are good at this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I loved it. You see, there was passion. So this is something I could do passionately. So this guy, the job he was calling to you, you found a way to bring in technology to make it more innovative, easier, better for him to do. Yeah.
And
no, it was a different lecturer.
Oh, different lecturer.
Yeah.
So now you go and you've already seen the problem he's having.
Yeah.
And you go and create
something for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me say that even shows your thinking.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. This was at 18, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So now go on.
So then my friend, she played a key role. My friend who had asked my mom whether I could go to Graffins introduces me to her aunt, another aunt. And her aunt, I don't know, that family just loved me. So her aunt just came and told me, you've studied IT. I have a friend who has a company in Upper Hill, and it's a software company, and they're looking for people to work with.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, my dream. Let me first even put pause. I forgot I was going to JKUAT. I was going to study computer science. I forgot completely. And I remember meeting this lady, and she actually set up the meeting. So I went, met this lady, and she told me, you can start working from March.
Of 2009? Uh-huh.
And he will be paying you 15,000 shillings per month. I'm like, what? It's like $1 million.
Oh my God.
That was so, I was like, what? I was so shocked. I actually said yes immediately. Like, where are the papers? You have to sign. It's a lot of money.
But take what you can at that moment.
I mean, it's in my head at that point.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I don't even know I knew a relative who was being paid that much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Hey, you're messing with me, Mary. Like for you, around your world, 15,000 was kufikwa.
Yeah. I don't know if you understand, yeah? 15,000
Yes.
was.
Wow. And you're coming from a place where people drink that on a weekend.
Yeah.
In Graffins
College. Oh, in
College.
Graffins, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God I didn't interact with those the ones that were too rich.
So okay, yeah. I want to hear this. So what happens?
So I say yes, and I go. I go there in March, and when I get there, she tells me, "So Mary, because of your temperament and because of how you interact with people, I'm not going to put you in the production department. I'm going to put you in the marketing department."
What?
I'm like, what? I don't want... Okay, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to go to the marketing department. I want to sit down and code. I love coding. I want to be a programmer. I want to build websites for you guys. I want to build systems for you guys. She's like, no, I'll put you in the marketing department.
Stop! Let's take a quick break. Let's leave them on that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.